eligible pending bills, or is it a report of the aging analysis that was required by the control of budget? What report are we having there?
And maybe in addition, Senator Maruma, that's something about segregation. The justification is, Governor, you have said you pay on need assessment. The more agent like medical supplies and what have you, over ongoing projects. So that is the segregation that we wanted.
There's some here, Chair. I don't know why the officer is so nervous that he could not explain the year.
Is it, do we have that document, Governor, here?
Chair, maybe you don't.
Which report?
This is on whose book? Did you hand over this to the?
Is it a report of the aging analysis or the report on a task force on the eligible?
It's not attached, Chair, but it's here. So you needed to read it and tell the Senate that you have not attached it, but you can leave a copy. Where is that Makio fellow?
No, Governor, I thought as a former member of parliament, there is procedure of tabling documents.
Yes, I know, Chair.
Why are you doing things?
No, I know, Chair, but it's the fact that he cannot answer a question when he's holding a document here.
So maybe you have intimidated him too much.
No. The Senate told me, but maybe he's scared of what action will follow.
Chair, I think the issue is this 5.7 that has been paid. We must get the how it was paid. What was the justification? Then the outstanding amount, the segregation, because, and then you have brought another angle, which is unusual, of raising certificates on ongoing county government projects. So if we can get that, and I think the OAG, even in the most of the financial statements, not Muriuki, there have always been analysis that it becomes easy to dispense because we have said pending bill is a fast discharge. So I want to imagine if Kilifi is having 5 billion plus as an outstanding pending bill, based on it, and you know, counties or our people, businessmen, are almost 200 billion Kenya shillings. In fact, the Governor, you are among the highest with the pending bill in the country, because I've seen numbers who are paying. So maybe just as an out of curiosity, now that Kilifi, is there something that is attached to the historical establishment of the devolution of Kilifi, that this spending bill is unusually high? Could it be attributed to some historical, like the one we just discussed, like the one where air was being paid? Chair, we need to know, because Kilifi has have unusual high pending bill. What is maybe, Chair, so that we can do, what is, Governor, what is the general reason?
Chair.
What is the
reason, Chair,
reason?
first? The first reason, Chair, the transition report I got from my predecessors, the transition committee, they gave me a bill of 3.4 billion.
Then.
That's what I took over first before I came to office. So I've been trying to manage both the development and paying the previous bills and the current bills. The unfortunate thing, Chair, also, which probably makes us look like we have a big pending bill, is that among the bills which were pending, some of the analysis of the project, because immediately I came to office, I appointed a pending bills committee, you will realize also some of the pending bills we are paying, some of those projects are not finished. So we are now put money again to finish what we saw left over around there. Don't forget the times have changed. The money required, if you required 1 million to finish a project 2022, you need maybe 2 million now to finish the same project. So those were the challenges. But we are trying to bridge the gap, Chair. You'll realize.
I think our analysis needs to be data-driven.
Yes, Chair.
And when we say it should be data-driven, your officer, the breakdown he has given us, indicates that 90% of your pending bills were incurred during your time in office. It's only 1.7 billion that is older than 3 years. So I don't think it's a historical problem where 90% has been incurred between 0 to 3 years.
The transition report, Chair, is there. I think we'll need to deliver the transition report to this House on what exactly was handed over. On the 1.1 billion, that is on the transition committee, which we have a report. We can, if you allow us, we can forward to the committee at a later date. And on the 1.1 million, the money,
Chair, just on a point of procedure, you know, there is what we call equality in arms. Why is the governor ambushing us with documents we should have brought, we will bring, we will table? You should allow that decision to the chair. Number two, chair, that points to the issue of readiness, because if you are saying there is a document that was not supplied, it leaves us at a disadvantaged position, chair, yet we want to see the numbers and that movement.
Yeah, I think
You need to guide.
at the end of this, we'll be very clear, we'll be very elaborate on the detailed information that we require to deal with this matter.
That's okay, Chair. The only thing is, Chair, maybe we have, the reason why we have not supplied some of the information, because it was not part of the questions we received. Number two, the issue of maybe the officer, if I can assist him, so that he can answer the 1.1 billion, is that the salary of June, that is 2024, 2020, that query is for 1.1, the money came in July for the salary. So maybe it appears still that it was unspent, because most of the time we pay with Fuliza, depending if we are allowed Fuliza before July or it comes at the same time. So as you pay Fuliza,
how many months?
1 month. So at least out of that 1.1 billion, he should be able to deduct the delay of the salary of June.
How much do you pay per month?
It was May and June, actually.
May and
so
June.
May and June.
How
So
much
that
per
brings almost 1.1 billion. 800 and something plus the other utilities should bridge the gap.
Yeah, so we must, even that 1.1 billion cannot just be explained by saying it was paid, because we need to understand its components. We have seen in our experience where statutory deductions are not being remitted. We have seen where pension contributions are not being remitted. And that's why we need that detailed breakdown. To avoid a situation where we are throwing figures in the air, we shall direct that, number one, we must get a proper aging analysis for trade payables and staff and employee payables. It was omitted from the financial statement. I think we need to get visibility on that. We will also need to get a proper payment plan, the one that you have come up with for pending bills. That then will demonstrate the 5 billion you're talking about that has been paid. Under employee payables, we'll need to get a detailed breakdown and confirm that statutory remittances, deductions to SACCOs, insurance premiums, etc., have been settled, because you're concerned that you opened the year with 288 million as outstanding employee payables. We need to understand why that was older than 1 year in your books. Are you deducting from employees and not remitting? But then there's another limb to this question, where the auditor is saying, you gave directions to the internal auditor to verify the pending bills. Then you took away that instruction and gave it to something else called Accounts Payable Subcommittee. Remember, you have just told us that you had a problem with the pending bills that were handed over to you. And you explained yourself even the last time you appeared before us. Don't you think that the internal auditor would be a better responsibility to verify the pending bills rather than another subcommittee comprised of finance officers, the people who perhaps caused the problem? What was the wisdom of moving this from internal audit to accounts payable subcommittee?
Chair, I know that I instructed and appointed the internal auditor to investigate pending bills, but the accounting committee, maybe the CC Finance can explain. That was not me who appointed it. Maybe you should be able to explain that.
So who are these people? Who sits in that accounts payable subcommittee?
So I think this was done by the Department of Finance, so I should explain.
Because this is such a serious thing that you have more than 10 billion, which people claim you owe them. And we had said that let's leave the Auditor General out of it. Let's use the internal auditors. And then arbitrarily, you take it from the internal auditor and you give it to a subcommittee of the transition to accrual committee. What was the wisdom?
Let the CC Finance answer that.
But who appointed governor? Who made the decision to withdraw that power from the internal audit?
No, I appointed the internal audit. If somebody went and did anything else which I'm not aware, I can explain it here.
Okay, let's hear from CC.
Thank you, Chair, and with the authority of my governor. I think we're handling two separate issues. The internal audit was specifically looking at the pending bills, but this committee that we are talking about here is a committee that was appointed as a transitional committee to move from, particularly on the reporting side, where now we were moving into the accrual. So this committee was specifically looking at transiting from the previous reporting system or method to now the accrual. So it,
I think just go back to the written response that has been read by the governor. And I would expect that you were involved in its preparation. You have said that the county government reassigned this role to the accounts payable subcommittee, full of finance officers who perhaps are the masterminds of the fake pending bills. CEC, have you seen because what you are saying is different from what is on paper. What is on paper says that responsibility was reassigned from the internal auditor to the accounts payable subcommittee. So you are taking it from the internal auditor, bringing it back to finance. And perhaps finance is a crime scene.
Through you, Chairman.
Chair,
Who appointed this subcommittee?
both the person who was acting as CC that time and the current are both here, so maybe they can help each other to answer those questions.
Yeah, so CC, your explanation does not tie to this because you're saying that your explanation is that they're complementary. The response here says it was reassigned. It was taken away from internal auditor, taken to another subcommittee that is controlled by finance.
So let the chief officer of finance, seems like he wants to whisper something to me. Can you say to the committee?
Okay, chief officer of finance.
Can you say what you are trying to tell? Can you explain?
Yes, Chief Officer, and please be guided by use as a reference point should be the governor's written response, because that's what was submitted under oath.
Thank you, Chair, and with the blessings of His Excellency the Governor, this subcommittee was not supposed to take away the responsibility of the internal auditor in checking the pending bills. It was supposed to check the baseline of pending bills.
Chief Officer, do we dismiss the report that has been tabled by the governor? Because the report said that the role was reassigned to the accounts payable subcommittee. That is what has been put before us under oath.
Yeah. It's not supposed to disqualify what the governor has presented. Just giving a clarification on.
Because you have said, we have gone further and even said that was done to avoid duplication of roles. I mean,
I think it's the language.
No, that it cannot be language.
Even Chair, you know, a reading of that response, Chair, they are saying that this role was reassigned to account payable subcommittee, a subcommittee of the project coordination committee of the transition from cash basis to accrual basis of accounting, to avoid duplication. So which committee was that role reassigned? Because there are two committees here. in the same sentence. Which subcommittee took over the role?
So, Governor, what do we do now? Do we trust your written response? We're in a big dilemma now.
You know now, Chair, I don't know if he's the internal auditor because you can see the internal auditor is the chair in that committee. So what happened between when we appointed her to check pending bills and that approval committee when it was formed and she became the chair? I can really not take responsibility on that, Chair.
Maybe the CC should tell us who
My
made
answer is correct.
Who made that decision to even reassign?
The decision of appointing internal auditor,
No, reassigning that role.
reassigning, I don't know who
Yes.
did the decision. Maybe after appointed the necessary to appoint another committee to help our team. I don't know, but I appointed the internal auditor because I wanted to know exactly how much pending bills we have and if there's value for what we are supposed to pay, if projects were done or not done.
And really, that's the right thing to do.
Yes.
If there is a reassignment which you cannot account for, then there's a big problem. Because you see, Governor, we don't exist in a vacuum. Sometimes we receive anonymous messages around pending bills, payment in Kilifi. But if you now start seeing a pattern where the governor gives directions and officers reassign, then it tells you there is a problem. We are very, very uncomfortable with reassigning this role from internal audit to the same players who can generate documents from tender to delivery notes.
My question, Chair, would be to the auditor, even as we're grappling that transfer. You know, the gravamen of this audit query is about unsupported trade and other payables of 10.7 billion, no, 11.9 billion. That in addition to the trade payables, that's the second paragraph of the same paragraph 6. It reads, in addition, the trade payables balance of 10.7 billion, schedule omitted critical details such as LPO, LSOs, supply invoices, delivered notes, date of contracts, and so on. So maybe the auditor, have you received these now? And can you account for the 10.7 billion that you queried?
Thank you, Chair. No, we've not received that information in a schedule with those details. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, you need to fix this problem. I'm trying to look at even the designation, and I see this letter signed by your CC for Finance, Peter Mwarogo Samuel.
Yeah, he's here. That's why I wanted him to explain.
So, Peter Mwarogo Samuel, the law required you to set up this committee for a completely different purpose, for transition from cash to accrual. Why did you usurp the function of the internal auditor by taking away that power from the internal auditor?
Thank you, Chair, for let me take this opportunity to clarify. The power of the internal auditor was not usurped in that, because the role of this committee was supposed to work on the transition to the accrual basis of accounting.
Have you read the written response that the governor has read?
I think there was an error in the written response, which we accept because it was it's not changing.
It cannot be an error.
Yes.
It is a very, very substantive matter, and in support, you have attached appendix 11. There's appendix 11 here, and even in that transition to accrual accounting committee, I can see the internal auditor
is part of that
as the secretary, isn't it?
Is it the chair?
No. The internal auditor is there as what?
The chair.
Look at minute 4 of 2025, 2026, terms of reference.
Internal auditor is supposed to be the chair of that committee.
Which committee?
The transition committee to the subcommittee for the transition to accruals.
The Chief Officer Finance was designated as a chairman, the Director Accounting Services a project coordinator, while the Director Internal Audit Services was a secretary. That is as per the minutes you have submitted. Now, this is a team that you want to verify pending bills. Chief Officer Finance, who may have been responsible for fake pending bills. Director Accounting Services, who may be responsible. What then would be the independence, functional independence of the internal auditor? When made the secretary to the chief officer, made secretary to the Director Accounting Services in terms of verifying the accuracy and completeness of pending bills. You'll just end up with, it will just be a lab for manufacturing and laundering pending bills. There is a problem here, Governor. So I think we have demonstrated enough of it. We might just want to ask you to do one or two things so that when we come to Kilifi, we can have a better conversation. Because I think you have seen where the gaps are. Please go and review this so that when you are presenting pending bills, even you as a governor, you've got a good feeling that it is verifiable and it is accurate. But you need to look at those internal reassignments because they might conflict the objective you have as a CEO of the county.
Thank you, Chair. And I have just a committee which I gazetted, and I've just completed to look into all those things you see in their papers, which will be reporting to me in the next few weeks. So that will be able to give me a really.
Okay. Since we have a definite date when we come to Kilifi, we can probe this further because it's not just numbers. These are small companies. These are lives that are at stake. So maybe when we come to Kilifi, make sure that we've got a more detailed analysis of this and better responses than what we have received here.
But Chair, I'm very uncomfortable because if pending bills worth 10.7 billion, the documents are not there. It means that these people will not be paid. So you need to really give us an indication where these documents are. If they are not within the presence of county government of Kilifi, then the suppliers should really provide.
They are, Chair.
Yeah?
We have,
provided.
as I've said,
Yes.
you will see there's a gazette. I did not, because it was not part of the questions, I did not bring it. I've had a pending bills committee running for the last 60 days. They have just completed their work. They have all the vouchers and pending bills with them. The last 2 months' bills were being paid after the clear document from that committee. And not only the document, but they must clear. The instructions and terms of reference from me was two things: the voucher and the really project. Pictorial, or the committee goes physically to verify before they tell Treasury to pay. So we have more details. We'll provide that, Chair, when you come.
Okay, fine. So I think the last observation here, there is something here, honorable members, that is crazy, in the sense that in the month of July 2025, Kilifi County received 4.5 billion. That is in the management response. Management response, page 8, where the governor is talking about late exchequer releases. The governor's response on page 8, where the governor explains the reasons for the pending bills. And I think it's a matter of national concern. If 4.5 billion can come in July, and the entity is expected to utilize that money within those timeframes. I don't know, today is 15th of June. You have 15 days to the end of the financial year. How much remains unremitted to Kilifi?
May and June, Chair.
And that's how much in total?
Will be 2.2 or something, thereabouts.
2.2?
Yeah. But you'll see that
to the end of the financial year?
Yes.
So this one was 4.5 billion.
Chair, you'll see you have money there from conditional grants. Kilifi has a lot of that. We have the water, we have like 1.7 billion. We have royalties, 950, which was probably pending for 2 years. We have KUSAP, we have KISIP, we have FLOCA. We have all these things. So I think these guys should be able to explain all that money was for which entities.
No. I mean, it's not a problem. We are just asking ourselves, if you're given 4.5 billion in July and given 14 days to spend it, because that's the situation, isn't it?
Yeah, what happens here is...
The system is open up to 15th of July.
Yes, what happens here is some of these monies, they don't stay in the CRF. They go straight to the entities, special purpose account. If it's water, it goes to the 2 companies because it's indicated they have 700 million maybe for Malindi Water, 500 million for Kilifi Water. It's transferred. If it's CAIPS, the money is transferred to the special account of CAIPS. So it does not stay in the same account. It will be, yes.
What Chair is saying is you must spend that money within 15 days. And what we are saying is it's very untidy the way national government is transferring cash. I thought you should agree with us. That
yes, I agree with you. Yes. We have received the money very late.
Yes, that's the issue we are trying to...
And actually we received it after you people intervened, the senators intervened, that the money is... You remember there was the signing of the conditional grants, which delayed for so long. First it came to you, then it passed through you, then the president assented. It all took so long. Actually, the World Bank, the country director visited, and we had a meeting with me, with all the team of World Bank. That's why they have extended the time of completing these projects, because it was not tenable that the money came to Treasury, but they did not, for some reason, disburse those money. But I think the government, national government, managed to explain to World Bank, so they came and we adjusted all the timelines.
I think, Governor, this is a challenge we throw to you.
No.
The next time the Council of Governors is meeting in Kilifi, let them make resolutions that are more useful to the nation. There is no way that you can get 25% of your money in July, and then you have to spend it in 14, 15 days. Those are far more productive issues to engage on. This amount of money is what Tharaka Nithi gets in a year. Tharaka Nithi spends that money in 365 days, and then it is sent to you to be spent in 14 days. I mean, we must hold Treasury to account. It is not, there is no, unless they are gods and angels in Kilifi. If you have to spend 4 billion in 14 days, itakulwa. So that must be the conversation. We jointly take a position and face the National Treasury head on. This is extremely untidy. 4 billion in July, and we have to spend it within 15 days.
Thank you, Chair. We'll need help from you. I know we still struggle through Council